Well, hey crafty friends, it's Hiedi Scott with DiyDreaming, and on today's video tutorial, I am going to show you some fun projects for summer that you can do with hard cover books from Dollar Tree or from your own library or from a garage sale, a thrift store, whatever. But they're starting with hardcover books. So I'm going to show you two different things. We're going to actually do it. One of them is going to involve painting a book, sort of an ombre, dark to lighter, using this Waverly paint from Walmart called Dusk and Pool. And the other one we're just going to do with the cover that is on the book. So I have lots to show you, including some past book projects that I hope I don't forget. Maybe I'll show you those while part of this is drying. Okay, so it does not matter what the book is about. This book is called Jones. I don't know what it's about. The Men Can't Be Saved. Don't know what that's about. Truth of the Divine. This doesn't look like something that I would read, but let me tell you what made me pull it off the shelf at Dollar Tree. Except for the spine, it's one solid color, a blue, which would work great for summer. This is the one we're gonna do. Is it this one? No, this is the same deal, except for the spine, it's one solid color. This is the one that we're gonna do, because it's a brighter blue, except for the print on the spine. Okay, if you can find white, then you can paint it and do this whole ombre effect, and I'll show you that too. You're going to take these off, the covers off, and toss them. You don't need to keep that for any reason. Let me see, where can I put this? I have too much stuff here. Okay, so suppose you had a white book that had a white cover, like this one. This was a Dollar Tree book. It's about clean protein. Clean protein. Anyways, what I did with this one is I just painted the front, the spine, and the back using these two colors. I started at the bottom with Dusk, and then towards the top I added the light blue, which is called Pool. It's really hard to see in this video, but it is a graduated color. Okay, so I went ahead and I finished this just so I would be able to show it to you. I took my new absolute most favorite stencil design of all time. This is called Lighthouse of Truth. It's 2 pieces. I absolutely love this font, and I have used my stencil at least 15 times now, and it's still nice and sticky and looks pretty good and still works great. So I used this. On the other side I'll show you, and I used some of this glittering white chalk paste that looks white and sparkly. This is the stuff, incidentally, that I like to rub, I don't have any in here, rub on the inside of a seashell, and it makes it look like almost opalescent. Okay, so I used this, I let it dry, and then I used this. And here is how it turned out. Can you guys see? Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. And this could sit on a coffee table. It could, sit on some bookshelves, or it can stand. That's what I love about hardcover books. So you would see it, it would look like this, and it would just be standing up. Or you could put it on a stack of books. And I will go outside later today and I will spray it with some clear matte sealer spray, and it's absolutely permanent at that point. So I could do the back of it as well. I didn't paint the whole cover because with a white book it's not necessary. And I was able to cover up the writing. Isn't that pretty? So it's 2 colors of blue paint, this inexpensive stuff from Walmart, Waverly in Dusk and Pool. Okay, that was the first one I wanted to show you. The next one we're going to do, and then I'll show you one that is finished. Okay, so this is Jones by Neil Smith. I don't know if it's a good book or not. It might be. I am going to, because this is a great summer color, this works perfect, and I don't even have to paint it. I'm going to take some tape, and I am taping off the spine. Okay, and I'm going to do that on both sides. I'm using masking tape, which is not the best. I would recommend blue painter's tape, but I don't have any more. So I'm just using what I have. Masking tape can sometimes pull the finish off things. Okay, so it's taped. But I'll show you a trick to remove it so it doesn't get messed up too much. We're going to be using this chalk paste in Old Glory Blue, and I need to grab a paintbrush. Just looking at my paintbrushes. I really need to invest in some new ones. If you are on with me, do this, or say hello. Let me know that I'm not just standing in my craft room here talking to my phone. Okay, so I'm going to use this like a paint, and I'm going to show you how quick it dries also. So we're just painting the spine. And the only reason why I taped the edges was just so that we would have a crisp edge. Okay, so there's the back part of it, and then if you wanted to do this idea with a different color book, you absolutely could, and you could just use a different color chalk paste, which is from magnoliadiy.com, that might coordinate with whatever you were planning to do with the front. Okay, look how nice that coverage is. I always want to close that up. And I'm going to use my hot air, my heating gun. I can see it drying right in front of my eyes. Crazy. Okay, so I don't know if you noticed, but when I first painted it on, it looked really shiny. Ooh, it's still got a few little damp spots. Now it looks more matte. So I'm going to show you, we're going to let this sit for just a second, and I'm going to show you a few other books that I've done in the past. And then later today, I will dig out the book projects that I've done. I have a whole album of book projects because they're one of my favorite things to do, and I have probably done at least 25 or 30 different things with books, including, this was from a very long time ago. This was a white Dollar Tree book, and I used gray chalk paste and this stencil, which I don't believe that's available anymore. And I painted the spine. I did the front and the back, and then I just tied some sparkly twine on it. I love also creating book covers using brown craft paper. This was for Easter. I have a whole book stack of brown craft paper, and these aren't even permanent. This is like what you used to do to your school books every year, if you're about my age or so. This is that Grow Happy Thoughts stencil that I love so much. This is from the book of Esther. Here are some dragonflies, and here are some butterflies. And this was meant to be a pretty stack of books. Okay, let me show you a couple more, and then we'll finish up with this project. Sometimes I've made risers out of books, like this one. This is also brown craft paper that is stenciled with 2 or 3 colors of blue chalk paste from magnoliadiy.com, and this was the Mandela lace stencil, which is not currently available, but it could come back at some future point. And I glued some little, these were from Target. They were in the dollar bins at the front of the store, and they were meant to be painted to be Christmas light ornaments. I thought those kind of look like feet, so I put that on there. And then here's another stack of books that I painted, and I made my little feet, and then I stenciled with white chalk paste. That was pretty. So those are just the ideas that were sitting around here in my craft room this morning for me to show you. Let's proceed with this. Okay, to remove the tape so it doesn't pull up the paper on the cover, I'm just going to heat my tape up a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to go very slowly. Let's do the other side. I really feel like you could also do this with a blow dryer if you don't have a heating gun. And if you use blue painter's tape, it's not as likely to pull the finish off of your book. On my first book, on this one, where did I put it? Let's see. Oh, it's right here. Oh, I haven't shown it to you yet. I did kind of pull a little bit of the finish off, and right here, and so I had to fix that after the fact. So that's when I figured out that heating it up really does help. Okay, I'll show you this one in just a minute. Okay, so what is the front and what is up and down? See what the spine looks like. And I am going to use this again. Oh my gosh, I love this design. If you don't have this Lighthouse of Truth stencil set yet, you should get it. I probably will use it at least 20 more times this summer. And I have a pile of stuff I've already made here on my desk. I made pillows. Let me show you that. I made this pillow wrap a few days ago, and I used it to do my sand dollars and my starfish. And then I used it to make this banner that I'm still working on. for my fireplace. Same idea. Absolutely love that. Okay, so since I've used it so many times, I'm not going to worry too much about fuzzing it. But if you're new, what is fuzzing? Fuzzing is when you lay it on something like this tacky towel to make it just a little bit less sticky, so that it doesn't get stretched when you pull it up. You can also fuzz on a t-shirt or a pair of jeans, okay? I really probably didn't need to do that because this has been used at least 15 times. Okay, so the hardest part is getting it on reasonably straight. Let me just look and concentrate for a minute. Okay, and you know what? When I did this other one, let's back up a step. When I did this other one, I wanted this little margin. Let's just show it to you right now. I wanted this little margin right here. Isn't that pretty? Where the book didn't have any writing. So I just went ahead and used another piece of tape for that. I didn't push it down very hard though. Okay. Now we can move on to this step, which is the hardest part. Getting your stencil on reasonably straight. Let me just concentrate for a moment. Okay, let me look at the back and see. Sometimes that's the best way to tell. It looks reasonably straight. So I'm just pressing it down. We're going to use this same Old Glory Blue chalk paste. And let me first get my stencil. Down good. I'm just going to put a big blob on here. What do you guys think so far? Do you like this idea? I mean, it's really pretty simple. I think it's pretty fabulous though. And the books can either lay flat on a coffee table or something, or you can stand them up and they become like a shelf sitter. And it does not take very much chalk paste. I didn't need anywhere near as much as I put on my squeegee. Okay, once I get it on, I'm going to make myself stop. I'm not going to keep fiddling with it. Let's pull it up. Looks great. Okay, I'm going to throw this in my tub of water. Over here. I want to use that stencil design at least 25 times more, at least. So to take care of them, you just want to wash them promptly. Get them in some water. Don't leave them in there too long. Wash them in your kitchen sink, or if you have a farm sink or a good sink in the laundry room, with a sponge and some dish soap if you want. Magnolia has a great sponge. It's called a stencil cleaner sponge. This is half of one. I always cut them in half and I can use a new one out at the sink. Anyways, that plus a little bit of dish soap works great to keep them clean. Okay, let's try this. And you might be wondering, what does the writing say? It is the lyrics to the song Oceans by Hillsong United, and it talks about keeping our eyes above the waves and on Him, and it's just a beautiful song. Okay, while I'm letting that finish its thing for just a second, let me show you a couple projects. I have been completely obsessed with this design. This is what just the lighthouse looks like on a Dollar Tree black canvas. Here is a tea towel that I made. I used gray ink and navy blue ink for that. Here is a wood, like breadboard, chalkboard kind of sign that I just used white chalk paste. Isn't that pretty? And I showed you the pillows. Let's see, I've got a couple more things over here. Here's a quick example of the starfish and sand dollars that I stenciled using white ink. This was a shelf sitter that I did all in navy, and then I used a plastic palette knife from Dollar Tree to do the edges. And then this is a stretch canvas that I did with 2 colors. I mean, this is just such a fabulous, fabulous design. I was invited to do this collaboration, and I basically just described and showed some examples to the owner of the company of what I would like my design to be, and she came up with the rest of it, and she did a fabulous job. This cursive is going to be used for a ton of things, not just in the summer. And the lighthouse is fabulous too. So, see how nice that little bit of tape makes that margin be right before the edge, the spine of the book? This book, unfortunately, is not quite as big, you can see, as the first one. So I'm not sure how much of the lighthouse will be able to get on it, but we're going to try. This is the one I did as a practice. And this book was this light blue cover. All I had to really cover up was the name of the book that was on the spine. Same with this one. This was this blue color in case you missed the beginning. Okay, here's the lighthouse. And I think I'll just give that one quick little fuzz just to be sure. Okay, so let's fiddle for a minute. And I want to make sure it is standing up straight. Okay, close enough. Okay, so we're going to use the same blue chalk paste. I probably did not need that much. Let's see. Sheila says she's been missing me. Oh, she just lost her last brother. Oh, Sheila, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Yeah. You see how easy this is? This morning I was looking around the internet world and I saw these beautiful Bibles that had been painted, which I shared that picture. And that's what got me thinking, I want to do a book project today. But I'm not artistic, so I couldn't paint, freehand paint anything. But stencils make it, oh my gosh, so pretty. Stencils make it so easy to create something awesome. Okay, this is going in my tab. If you had a hardcover Bible, you could do something like this on the front of it. You could also paint it if you wanted. Mine is a soft leather, so it would not work for my Bible. And the Bible I use is the same Bible I've had for 25 years, and I've written my life in it. So I'm not about to start over. But you could do this idea with a Bible if you had the right situation. What do you guys think? So there's this one and this one. Pretty, huh? And then I did this one on a white book that I just painted with paint, Waverly paint, with one darker color and then a lighter color, and then I used glittering white chalk paste for the script, the font, the handwritten song, Oceans, and then the lighthouse over the top when it was dry. So what do you guys think? Do a this or a this if you liked it. Feel free to sprinkle. Let me know if you would like my supply list. I can even include the names of these colors in case you would want to. This paint is available at Walmart in case you want to sort of recreate this idea. And I suppose you could paint any color book you might want if you wanted it painted. All right. Have a blessed and wonderful rest of your day. Let me know if you have any questions about anything, and I will see you guys later.